D&D. You've heard of it, you know what it is, and if you're watching this video, Wait a minute, that's the intro for episode 1. We are not doing that again after all the editing. Anyway. Hello everybody, welcome back. Today me and Orange are going to be doing episode 2 of the Bogwater campaign. Now, if you haven't watched episode 1, I highly advise that you go watch it, as you will have no idea on what we're talking about. Alright, so you're still here. Either that means you listened to me, so you went and watched it, you already watched it, or you just don't care and you want to listen what happens right now. Either of those are fine, but boy do I know I don't want to keep you waiting. Let's go.
Hello everybody, welcome. We have a few more accessories since last time. We have the dice tray. I know a lot of people who don't use them, but it's still cool. We have the big book of battle maps. Every page is basically a different map. Currently we are on the tavern map because that's where we ended off last time. Lastly, we have a miniature of my Sean Elrond, a character I'm playing, and I was basically right here, so we're just going to put it back here.
Sadly, we don't have any other miniatures, as my Sean Arrow was our first priority. This is 82 speaking, by the way. Don't worry, future episodes, maybe 3, 4, 5, something like that, we definitely will have more miniatures, as it just seems out of place with one 3D object upon a whole land of 2D. Anyway, give him a quick recap, and we can continue off of there.
Alright, last episode, my Sean Arrow went to the barge yard in Water Lily, convinced the owners to give him a boat for free. Then he sailed almost to Idle Island when the wind stopped and he had to use his javelin to row himself to shore. Don't ask me how that worked. I'm definitely going to make oars before I go back. Anyway, he then went to a tavern and drank an entire beer. Chugged it straight up. Then he asked the bartender to fill his boot with beer. But while that was happening, a kobold shot the bartender. And the bartender fell to the ground. And yeah, the bartender might be dead, might not. I actually don't.
And that's where we left off from last time. Is there anything else you'd like to say, or shall we begin?
Yeah.
Alright, last time, just like you said, you were just about asking the bartender to fill up your boot with ale. Midway through it, he was shot in the head by an arrow. Upon looking through the window, you could see it was none other than a kobold. That is where we left off. What did you like to do?
Alright, so was the kobold inside?
No, the kobold was outside as the last time. I said you can hear the glass shatter as the arrow flew through the glass and hit the bartender.
I thought it was like it hit like a mug and then went through the mug.
No, it shattered one of the windows. So currently there's a dead bartender in front of you and an arrow in his head, along with a collapsed boot of ale slowly spilling on the floor.
Wait, he's dead?
Yeah.
How am I supposed to get my ale now?
You could just go behind there and fill up the boot yourself. But I think you have bigger worries than a boot full of beer.
Yeah. I pull out my scimitar and run over to the kobold.
Upon running over there were big crowds of people who either haven't noticed, don't care, or are just in your way. It takes you some time, but you manage to get through the whole crowd and up to the window that's been shattered. You get there, and
gone.
There's no kobold.
Can I try to figure out which way he went?
Roll for investigation.
Investigation. Why did it have to be investigation? 5.
Plus or minus what?
0.
Oh. You slightly climb out of the window just to get a better look around, but you don't see anything at all. All of a sudden, you see little bits of kind of pebbles, something you'd see if something's sliding over a ledge, land right next to you.
Can I go outside and look again?
You're already outside. You climb through the window. and pebbles landed right next to you, a hint that something is above you and...
Can I climb onto the roof?
I'm pretty sure you could just look up and see what's...
Oh, can I look on the roof?
Look up.
Up on the roof.
You turn around and look up, and you can see a brick, probably 5 feet in diameter, slowly inching off the roof tiles right to over your head.
Can I step to the side?
You step to the side. Actually, I'd like you to roll for... What would timing be? Acrobatics?
Yeah.
Okay, roll for acrobatics.
Acrobatics is... 13.
Plus...
0. Again.
You step to the side just in time, and you can feel the giant brick, just the slight breeze of it falling right next to you. You are shocked at how close that was to breaking off your arm. And you can see a kobold peeking over the edge with a disappointed look on his face, along with 2 more who just peek over the ledge as if he's brought friends.
Can I throw a javelin at the middle one?
Roll. Let's see if you hit.
Alright. Ooh, my javelin is plus. Alright, 18.
18. You throw the javelin up and hit the second kobold that popped up right in the middle of the eye. He starts shrieking and trying to pull it out, but eventually he stops, flops over, and slides off the roof, landing on his back.
I didn't even roll for damage.
That's the thing. You'll find out why later, trust me.
Alright, I pull the javelin out and throw it again.
You pull the javelin out of his eye?
Mm-hmm.
You pull the javelin out of the kobold's eye, but all of a sudden, the second eye, the one you didn't hit, opens up. The first eye you hit, it's never going to work again. But the second eye, you can tell he is very, very, very angry.
Can I stab him in that eye?
Roll.
Alright. 10.
10?
I have a plus 6.
Oh, plus 6. You go to stab the kobold, but right before you do, he rolls over and you stab right into the grass. All of a sudden, because he's laying kind of under you as you're hunched over because he's stabbed, he kicks you up in the stomach. I'd like to see how much he does to do.
Wait, doesn't he have to roll to hit?
That's what I'm doing.
Oh.
9 plus 2. What's your armor class?
12.
He kicks up, but right before he gets to your stomach, a wave of pain goes down his leg as his brain's probably been pierced slightly. And all of a sudden his legs collapse, not as in they don't work anymore, just he is not strong enough to get all the way up. And he starts wailing on the ground in pain as he's holding his left leg.
Alright. Can kobolds, they're dragon-like, right?
Yeah.
Can they breathe fire?
Certain ones can. The ones you're facing with, no.
Alright, can I breathe acid into his face?
Roll.
Roll.
Wait, isn't breath weapons, like, I roll, you roll, whoever rolls higher?
No, you have to roll a saving throw.
Yes, that's kind of what I meant.
So,
okay.
Roll a dexterity save for him.
5 plus 1, 6.
Alright, I get to roll 2d6. 6 and 5. 11 damage.
This dude's cooked.
11 acid damage.
You breathe acid onto him, and for half a second, both of you think that you've missed. You're there standing, and for half a second the acid just misses, but that's just the first bit of it. For a second, he's like, I didn't get hit. But then, that's when you both realize that the part that missed him was just the bit of drops off to the side. And the big glob of the main acid breath hits him straight in the face, and you can hear the sizzle of his flesh and scales eroding. He's dead.
Okay.
There are still 2 more who are angrier than ever as you killed their best friend.
Okay,
Then again, they probably don't have friends, but let's pretend
They killed the bartender and tried to kill me. I think they deserve it.
Yeah, what are you gonna do to them?
I throw a javelin at another one of them. This time I'm aiming for the heart.
Roll to hit.
Huh?
I think you should roll at a disadvantage because he's covered, because he's just peeking over and not his whole body is right in front of you. So roll at disadvantage. Also, I saw what you just rolled, so redo.
So, okay. 8 and 14. Oh my gosh. Well, I wasn't rolling for his heart, I was just rolling for him.
I know, don't worry. It's not the end of the world. You throw the javelin up at him, but not so terribly, but still obviously miss. The javelin just grazes the side of his cheek, and you can hear the ka-thunk of the javelin landing behind him on the roof. He kind of grasps the wound and moves his hand away and looks on the blood in his hand. He closes his hand into a fist, puts it back down, and stares at you with a "nice try, but it's going to be a lot more than that to stop me" look on his face.
Can I climb? How tall is the wall he's on?
I'd say 7 feet. But since the wall and the roof is going over the wall, you'd have to climb up and around.
How much would that be total?
8 feet.
Oh, I can climb that.
Okay.
I climb 8 feet and breathe acid in his face.
Okay, roll. Oh wait, I have to do a saving throw.
Yeah.
10 plus 1, 11.
That still fails.
Gosh damn.
4
points.
and 5. 9 damage.
Wow. You breathe the acid on the kobold's face, and just like the last one, you can hear the sizzling and popping of his scales and flesh eroding. It wasn't quite as bad, as he stays conscious for much longer. He falls back and collapses through the roof, and from looking just through the window, you can see that he broke a hole in the roof and landed in the middle of the crowd. All of a sudden, you can hear like roars and smashes of beer and people angry, and from looking through the hole, you can see a lot of people are mad that he has disturbed their beer time and start beating him up with beer bottles, kicking him and stabbing him.
Okay. That was not expected.
Hey man, beer time.
Can I? So there's one more, right?
Yes, there's one more who he's more scared than angry, I'd say. He's probably, let's see, what is it? Frightened. A frightened creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls. The creature can't willingly move closer to the source of its fear. That doesn't mean he has to move away, though. So, to attack you, you'd have to walk up to him.
Alright. Can I grab my javelin and, like, melee attack him with it?
It went into the bot. Like, you threw it, it went through the roof. So it's inside now. You'd have to go around, grab it, and go back up.
Alright. Can I, like, kick him off?
It threw in the hole the previously one went through, or just off the roof outside?
Just off the roof. And, if possible, if I do enough damage to get him down to 0 HP in this turn, instead of killing him, I will want to knock him out to get information.
Okay. I'm fine with that. Roll for strength.
For strength?
Yeah.
Oh, I have great strength.
7 plus 4?
11.
11. You swing your leg at him as hard as you can, hitting him straight in the chest, and he stumbles back. But right before he falls, he grabs the roof with one of his hands, second one, and slowly pulls himself up. Upon seeing you, since he's frightened, he lets go and still collapses to the floor. He was that close to not falling off.
Is he dead?
No, he didn't. Roll to see how much... Actually, I'll see how much damage it took him, because he fell off a roof.
Yeah.
And you kicked him in the chest. 3 damage.
Alright. I want to jump down, hold my scimitar up to his throat, and yell, "Who do you work for? Who do you work for?"
Your javelin is still inside, man.
My scimitar.
Oh, scimitar. I don't know how I had javelin from that. What are you gonna do? Because since scimitars are kind of curved, do you want to hold it fully over his neck? So it's like around his neck, or just like up to his neck?
Around his neck.
Okay, you plant your hand on the ground holding the scimitar spear, and it makes a sharp arch over the kobold's neck.
Scimitar spear?
Huh?
Scimitar. You said scimitar spear.
Scimitar handle. I don't know what's up with me today. You hold the scimitar handle, and the scimitar's curve forms just over his neck, so he really can't get up. Yell at him.
I yell, "Who do you work for? Who do you work for? What did that bartender do to you?"
Upon saying that, he is really scared and just like, he takes a deep breath, and knowing that if he answers truthfully, he just may have a chance to live. He closes his eyes and looks up at you.
Wait, can I roll for intimidation?
Yes, depending on how much he tells you. No matter what, he will tell you the truth, but just to see how much comes out of his mouth, roll for intimidation.
Alright.
He's already frightened of you. I think
Where's my intimidation? I have good intimidation. 3.
3 intimidation. Don't worry, he will still stay stealth a bit more than... So yeah. He closes his eyes and looks up at you, still obviously with a scared look in his eyes.
I work for a group of kobolds that live right next to the Mere of Dead Men. I'm one of their bounty hunters, and I'm not quite sure why, but I was sent to kill the bartender. I don't know what he did to the person who wanted a bounty on his head, but it was my job. I'm sorry if I harmed anyone. Obviously, I harmed the bartender. But,
And then he blacks out.
Can I tie him up?
Do you have rope?
Let me see. I might have rope.
Was that a good voice?
Yeah. I have rope.
How much?
50 feet.
It'll take 5 feet to tie him up.
Then I want to get 5 feet and tie him up.
What to? A chair, the wall, pillar, stone? A stone
First I
man?
want to search him for weapons.
Roll a d10.
A D10.
First of all, roll for investigation, actually.
18.
18. Now roll a d10.
Okay.
1, but let's see. Where's your proficiency? Okay. You find 3 gold in his pockets, along with a little crossbow that's on his belt, along with a little not a fanny pack, but more on his belt, a little thing. And upon opening it, there's a piece of bread, some raisins, water skin, some like dust and crumbs at the bottom.
Alright.
He also has a slight chainmail armor, but it's really beat up and probably wouldn't be functional if you put it on without repair.
Alright. I want to take off the armor and the weapon and just throw them to the side.
Okay.
Then I want to
Oh, and 3 gold. I forgot that.
Yeah, I'll just take that.
Okay, so add +3 to your gold count.
Where?
It's on the back.
It's on the back. Wait, can I have the pencil?
Did you grab one?
I did grab one. Oh. Alright. So +6 now.
Huh?
Now I have 11 gold.
Okay. What else are you gonna do to him? You know where the kobold camp out is.
I want to tie his arms together, his legs together.
That'll be another 2 feet of rope.
No, that's what I was doing with the 5 feet.
Oh, I thought you were tying like his body around the chest, but also his arm. Okay. Sorry, I'm really confused.
Yeah, I bind his arms and legs, and then I also wrap a piece of rope around his face.
You're outside of the bar. We gotta get him out. Well, keep talking. I'm just gonna.
That's like in his mouth, right? So that he's like gagged and can't speak.
Okay.
And then I wanna.
Can you grab the map on the one?
Oh, yeah.
I know what map I'm looking for. Keep it.
Alright. Then I
That's
want
your boat, by the way.
my boat.
Yeah, the one you took to get here.
Alright, so then I want to drag him behind me. Well, no, first I want to go back in and get my boot
Okay.
And-
you're doing this all without a boot on.
and fill it up and just chug it.
Okay. Well, roll for investigation, because you don't really know where the taps are for the stuff.
Didn't I see him fill it up?
His back was turned. Roll for investigation.
Can I just ask someone where the taps are? Got
Hey, you're gonna find it, don't worry. That was kind of just, yeah.
a joke.
Sure, why not? You pick up the boot, and upon looking up, you bonk your head on one of the taps. You scoot back and up and forward, and you are looking at the taps. It says ale, beer, and then a scratched out one.
What's the scratch? Can I fill it with the scratched out one and see what color it is?
Okay.
What is this?
You start pulling the scratched out one, but all of a sudden, a hand rests on your shoulder, and you recognize it as the Dragonborn from before, who started the whole cheering and chug, chug, chug. He says, "Dude, I don't think you want to drink that. Do you even know what that tap is?"
I ask him, what is it?
Let's just say it's not pleasant, and not as in it tastes bad, as in it comes from somewhere nearby to Leland.
What did you, what was that last word?
Leland.
Leland.
It comes from somewhere near Leland.
Is it what I think it is?
What do you think it is?
Bogwater. Is it bogwater?
The hell is Bogwater made?
Is it water from a swamp?
No. It's from the porta potty just outside Leland.
Oh. I'm not. I dumped it out.
Okay. I mean, what if you rolled a 20 on Constitution?
I don't have great constitution.
Okay. You dump it out on the floor, and immediately as this guy's walking away, he slips on the puddle you've made, slams his head on the floor, opens his eyes, and he's just like, I don't even know what to say. He gets up, eyes you like a side eye,
Bombastic.
grabs your boot, throws it to the floor, and walks back to his table, and he starts whispering to his friends, occasionally glancing back at you, as in he's gossiping about you.
I fill the boot up with beer and just chug it.
You fill the boot up with beer and chug it. This time, he's looking at you with a disapproving look, and nobody's really starting the whole chug, chug, chug. All of us, while you're halfway through, you can hear a faint chug, 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 chug. You look down and you can see a bunny on two legs wearing a little suit.
What?
Chug, chug, chug. Not like a suit, kind of like, you know, what you're wearing, but
Alright.
close.
Can I grab him by the throat, take him into the kitchen and make rabbit stew?
What did he do to you?
I'm kidding. I'm not gonna make rabbit stew.
What are you gonna do to him though?
I'm gonna make rabbit ceviche.
Really?
Do you know what that is?
Yes, but are you kidding?
For viewers who don't know, it's basically means it's gonna be cooked in acid.
You didn't have to tell him that. What, are you actually going to?
No, I'm not. I just eat the bunny across the farm.
Huh?
I just eat the bunny.
So you actually don't.
No, I don't do anything. I just say, leave me alone.
All of a sudden, the bunny goes like, with a kind of, not a snort, as, you know, he can't really do that, but kind of like a, come on, dude. We're all here to have a good time. And he walks away, jumps through the window, higher than you'd expect him to be able to jump, even though he's still a bunny. and walks around the corner. All of a sudden, there's a purple flash of white light and some smoke coming around from the corner through the window.
I finished my drink, put my boot on, and run outside. Is the kobold still there? I check on the kobold.
The kobold is still there in the chair, blacked out, and where the smoke came from, it's just empty. As if the rabbit teleported somewhere.
Alright. Can I find some ores on the island and take them?
What kind of oars? Like diamond ore or oars to row a boat?
Ores to row a boat.
Roll for investigation. Wait, you're currently...
Wait. Ooh, I got a 7. Can I look again?
Yes. Fine. Because, I mean, if you're looking for something in real life, you're going to look as long as it takes if you really want.
13.
Upon looking around, you're looking around all the menhirs and all the rocks and grasses, and just behind one of the big stones, you can see a pair of oars rested up against the rock.
Can I grab?
They look weathered and as if they've been set there for quite some time, but they're usable, and that's all that matters.
I grab them, go back to the kobold, grab the kobold, bring them to the boat, and then start sailing back to Water Lily.
Oh. You're on the
Idle Island.
idle island of Leland. Do you want to go to Leland or all the way back?
Didn't I start in Leland?
No, you started in Water Lily. Remember? And you rode to Leland, but you couldn't get far enough, so you decided to go. Or you went to Leland, but then went to the idle island.
Right.
So are you going to go back to Leland or back to Water Lily?
I'll go back. Actually, I'll just go straight to the Mirror of Dead Men.
Okay.
Not to where the kobolds are, just to a different part of the moon.
Okay. Halfway through your
And can
trip,
I bring a bottle with me from the bar? Like an empty bottle?
you have one. From the first ale you drank. On the way to the Mirror of Dead Men, you can just about see it starting to appear just off the coast. All of a sudden, you hear a thump on the bottom of your boat. You see that same purple eye staring at you from the depths of the ocean. All of a sudden, you feel a tug on your oars, and they are pulled into the ocean. A tentacle comes up from underneath your boat, wraps around the kobold, and drags him into the depths. You are stranded out here. I think that's a good place to stop, as this is even longer than episode 1.
Alright.
Adios, amigos. See you in episode 3. Dun, dun, dun!